another Retail Community Member Site presentation.
Hi there, this is John Stanley on the Retail Community Member site. I recently had the opportunity to look at two very different shopping experiences. One was in London at the Westfields shopping mall, and the other one is at Rouse Hill at a shopping village. Both are relatively new retail complexes, so it was interesting to compare how the different developments are working. Should we be building shopping malls or should we be building village centres? We can compare two very different experiences from two parts of the world. Let's start off in the UK at Westfields, which is their new flagship shopping mall. Now when you start looking at this, it's a completely different concept to many other shopping malls. What we're seeing is that the food hall is being placed in the centre, but also we're getting scattered food offers around the centre, such as the M&S kitchen. So we've got Marks and Spencer's coming out into the shopping mall and offering this food offer that's been scattered around the centre, and in my mind works very effectively. We've got individuals like the Nut Hut creating the same experience for the consumer. But this is about architecture. This is a complex that's almost cathedral-like when you look at the building. Very tall roof and very large shop windows for stores to actually manage. So that means when it comes to merchandising details, the stores have got to be a lot more adventurous. And the Topshop, in my mind, have done this very, very effectively, using these ladders to get the eye to rove around the shop window and to focus on specific areas, while other shops used large posters to keep the eye in their shop window. One that took my eye specifically was the Body Shop. I love the way they use the picture around the edge and then draw the eye into the centre of the store, while other people used architecture to create the same image. When you've got a large window, you've got to dare to be different and do something to focus the eye on your window. So there's some challenges when it comes to this point of view. But I was there in February, just before Valentine's Day, and it was interesting to see how love was marketed. Marks and Spencer's kept a very simple window, a large poster, very little product, but they made their shop windows really work with the simplicity. While at the same time Lush went the other way and put a bit of humour into it with a loveometer, and they created some humour in their store, as did the naughty but nice window that I came across. I love these windows, but I get concerned when we have the love sale. Is this the way we want to take Valentine's Day in the future? I do have a question about this. But this was the time of a recession. How were stores developing that when it came to pricing strategies? Desigual had a 50% off with a large bag. And I quite enjoyed this. I think this has got a lot more interest for the consumer than saying the sales with the 70% off original prices, when I think people are getting bored with that type of signage now. I think we need to move on. Now when it comes to merchandising, there were some very simple windows that worked very effectively for me. And as I mentioned before, I love the way Lush can put their theatre together in a very simple way. Desigual, aiming at Gen Ys, they're always daring to do something different. And what a great way to dare to be different, aimed at this generation from that point of view. Simple but very effective. There was one Australian store in the Westfields stores, and that was the UGG shop, the UGG boots. The only store I've ever come across in a shopping mall where there's a security guard that checks you when you go into the store. Whether this is a good marketing campaign, I'm not sure, but it's an interesting approach to when it comes to retailing. But it's time to move to the other part of the world, and let's look at Rouse Hill in Sydney. Now Rouse Hill is a new village concept. Now what do I mean by a village concept is that they had the opportunity to create a village scene within a shopping mall or shopping centre concept. A whole new centre where vehicles are brought back into the centre. The library and the community centre become the hub, and they have become the major attraction in what is now a new town square. And a lot of foliage is being brought in, so there's a lot of greenery being brought into the shopping centre, as well as facilities for parking bicycles. So this sustainability issue is becoming very much a part of the shopping village centre. There's plenty of maps around to show you around the way, and as you can see by this map here, it's divided into 4 quarters. So what we've got is 4 quarters of retailing, and the weather is a problem. I was there on a rainy day, but I love the way the buildings have been put together so you can feel like you're outdoors, but you can shop under cover. This means that some of the facilities give temporary cover either in sunny weather or rainy weather. So you've got various covers to the roof which have very effectively been put together to allow the customer still to shop in comfort. And this is working. It allows you to bring greenery into the shopping centre. And we've got green walls being developed. And give it a year, this will be a very attractive green wall within a major part of the shopping centre. You've got the opportunity to bring more unusual architecture into the centre. Now, I'm not sure if I want to sit on one of these seats, but at least it's brought some interest into the stores. And it allows water to be brought in, and features that are local, so the local frogs can be brought in as a form of sculpture to create interest. What I did enjoy was parking the car. You go into the parking area, and if the parking lot is free, there's a green light above the car. So you can easily drive around the parking lot and find an easy place to park your vehicle. But what about the merchandising? What we've got is anchor stores within the shopping centre, and that's important to create that interest from that point of view. I'm seeing a change in a bit of retailing. Instead of just the 70% off concept, grab 2, get another free. Tops 2 for $35. So we're seeing this bundle retailing coming into the shopping village from that point of view. And of course the important thing is to get the perishables within one area. And I love the fact that the butcher is placed very closely next to the fish guy, who is close then to the fruit and veg guy. And it was the fruit and veg guys that really caught my eye, especially when it came to how they used signage and brought this blackboard signage in and brought it into a very personal approach as far as the consumer was concerned. And I love the way that they put this personal touch and said, I understand my product and I understand your feelings as a consumer. And they were great merchandisers. They really knew how to put their products together to really give it eye appeal and to catch the eye. And don't forget the kids. Next to the fruit and veg there was a kids area where the kids could play. So there's 2 interesting developments in 2 different types of stores. I think the important thing is the customer wants an experience. In the UK they've said we're going to do it within one structure. In Australia we've seen it where it's been put into a brand new village experience. And it goes back to that it's more than retailing. I think shopping villages are going to be taking over. Having just come back from the US, I've seen a lot more of this shopping village style coming into the marketplace. So I think we are seeing a change in retailing, and I think it's worth monitoring this and seeing how those trends develop. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this walk around 2 very different styles of retailing. Thank you for joining us. I'm John Stanley.
For more information, visit retailcommunity.biz.